Welcome to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton, and welcome to a discussion show where we are going to be evaluating the performance of one of our new signings this season, free transfer, Andros Townsend. He looks to be settling into life pretty well at Goodison. I'm joined by Owen and, of course, Andros Townsend's number one fan, Terry McAllister. We'll be getting right into the nitty-gritty, and we've got to start with you on this one, haven't we, Terry? You were very much a detractor of the signing of Townsend when it was announced before the season started. What do you make of him so far?
No, I think me social media was hacked for several weeks, just like slagged him off. But I've got it back now. I think he's great.
One of Rafa's scruffy old players.
Yeah.
Yes.
Basically, for anyone who doesn't live on Twitter, I've basically been banging the drum since we signed Andros Townsend, basically saying that I saw no value in his signing. I thought he was a scrappy player, free transfer from Crystal Palace, and I, put that against the backdrop of here comes Benitez, and he's got previous with James Rodriguez. James Rodriguez is not being, selected. He's not even in matchday squads. He's sitting at home. And here's Benitez bringing in ex-Crystal Palace players who are nearly 30 on free transfers and going, well, yeah, get back in your box, Everton. No more James Rodriguez, no more stars for you. It's time for, as Owen alluded to, what I call scruffy old players. We're going to bring them in. And I've got to say that I was wrong. It happens to everyone. I've got loads wrong. I thought Davy Klassen was going to romp it. And
you couldn't, did you?
Yeah, it is. I thought Davy Klassen would be great. And I don't think I've ever been that wrong again since. But so far, so good. Townsend has proved me wrong. He's come in. We've relied on him massively. Where would we be without his contribution so far? He's been great. I think he's shown, if nothing else, if you're going to be really harsh, which obviously I will be now, he's shown the blueprint of what we need. That mould of player on that side of the team, a hard-working, pacey player who can cut inside on his other foot and can get crosses into the target men.
He can actually kick a ball, which is good.
Well, my assertion is that he's a blueprint. In other words, someone better will come in and replace him, but other people might go, well, we don't need anyone better to replace him. He's playing that well. It's fair enough. I can't argue against that at the minute. I've been bang wrong about it. I did not want him. I thought it was depressing that we did sign him because of what it signalled, and I just was sick at the idea of we're getting rid of James Rodriguez and bringing in Townsend. This is the party's over. We're going back to 2002 under Rafa Benitez, and so far I've had another class on. I've got it wrong, so hopefully I continue to be.
Alternatively, I'm never wrong, and I said he's brilliant. So yeah.
Well, I hope it continues. I continue to be wrong on him, and that you continue to be right, because it's nice to be wrong when it means Everton are winning and Everton players are doing well, and that's what's happening.
Oh, definitely.
No,
Go ahead, Owen. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, to be fair, when he first linked, I was like, Jesus Christ, this is some fall. But when I thought about it and saw our wide options last season, I quickly realised that this is a pretty decent sign. I followed Andros Townsend quite closely, especially when he was working under Roy at Palace, because I watched quite a bit of him, and I thought he was really good at the defensive side of the game. I watched him when he was at Spurs, and he weren't really good at that. It was under chances like Tim Sherwood and that. But when he went to Newcastle with Rafa, and then later spent years with Roy at Palace, his defensive side of the game was really, really good. And I thought, if Rafa's going to play sort of similar with wingers who need to get up and down, he's perfect for a free. And unless we can bring people in later in the window for big money, that didn't happen. But as someone who we need in now, then that's fairly good, because I remember when, obviously Terry's just referred to David Klassen last summer, when we brought in, we didn't bring a striker in that summer at all, whereas we'd have brought some cheap average journeyman striker in who was about 7 foot in at the start of the summer, and he could have just played up front and held the ball up and sort of got us through games until we could have got someone better later that summer. Koeman probably could have benefited from that, so that's why I think what Rafa did was really clever. Though we didn't get anyone else in, we got Damari Gray as well, but we got someone in who could do a job and improve the team. Even if he wanted a Leon Bailey or Dwight McNeil or somebody else who could have improved us later on, but he needed to get someone in, otherwise we'd have just struggled to create for the strikers this season as well. And yeah, I think he's done really well. He's scored goals, got up and down. I'm not sure about his right-footed in-swing and corners, because they never get past. Didn't even get to the first man half of them, but we'll forgive him for that because he's been really good, and I think that it does set a blueprint that we need players who are hard-working and who sort of buy into the course the manager wants, rather than buying players who sort of don't really get a chance and they're not really, don't fit the team, and just the Davy Klaassen syndrome really of a player that was never going to fit into Everton, and a player, if you'd watched his first half of football and Everton knew would never cope to the Premier League. So we need more players who are going to fit the style and fit the Premier League, and Andros Townsend does that. So yeah, he's been really good, and he would probably start every game he's fit for me.
Definitely. And I think what Teddy said before, though, there is definitely something I agree with, is that Townsend is great for now, but he should be used as a blueprint, and a long-term replacement should be sounded out as early as next summer.
Yeah, because he's getting on.
I think a lot of people assumed he would, there'd be someone else brought in with him. I never understood how anyone could believe that. Like, we brought in Gray and Townsend, and then a lot of people online were going, well, they're not the real signings. They're only free and 1.7 million. We're going to bring in, someone else like Leon Bailey and so on. I was like, no, we won't. There's no chance we're going to buy 2 wingers and then buy more wingers, even if we had money, coming out of our ears, so no financial problems. We're not going to do that. We're not going to bring these 2 players in and go, oh, by the way, you're only coming to sit on the bench. You're not going to get played at all because we're going to bring in Leon Bailey and someone else. But I suppose I didn't believe it. It didn't end up happening, but I suppose it could have, because they did look at Luis Diaz from Porto. So maybe if he'd have come in, but I still think
Bernard as well.
You are.
We did lose Bernard, so
yeah. I mean, I suppose Rafa's even said, hasn't he? He doesn't think they should be using Townsend or Rondon, players like that as often as he is. But he's got no choice at the minute. So maybe Townsend was brought in going, listen, you're going to play 25 games. But they say he's going to play about 40. But, he's been full value for it. He said he seems to be loving life. He's got, it's nice to be in a team, at the other end of the table. Without saying it, he's basically said it's nice to be in a team that attacks. It's what, all respect to Roy, but, his job at Palace has been to basically cover the right fullback, hasn't it? Whereas here, he's still got his job to do, but he's allowed to express himself a bit more, allowed to, get forwards a bit more. He's hit that absolute hell strike against Burnley. He's had a great start, and he's been valued for it.
He's been in a better team, to be frank, because they weren't really, apart from Zaha, there weren't really anything going forward for Palace because they didn't have the money to bring anyone in. They've seemed to found a scratch card at the back of the sofa this summer, very questionable, but they didn't really spend any money, so they did rely on Townsend.
And to be honest, though, Palace have spent money this summer because they've done what we've been trying to do for years, and got rid of all the dead wood. We were on stupid money like Harry Kale, and I mean, not necessarily dead wood, but expensive old players.
Yeah, but they were brought in on frees and they were sold on frees as well. It's not like they spent 30 million on Gary Cahill, was it? So yeah, it was a case of the problem with them was when they had Allardyce and Pardew and De Boer, they spent so much money, they were crippled and they were going to go down, and they steadied the ship for 4 years or so, and then they're ready to go on another big expensive transfer spree. So we'll see what that. Hopefully, it'll leave them in a lot better place than where I left them under Alan Pardew. But anyway, Townsend, is just exactly the type of player we need, because he's definitely someone who wants to improve, and can't get too many. You can never have too many Andros Townsend to give everything. So yeah, he's been brilliant, and let's hope his corners improve.
I think that's an Everton thing. I've seen every player I've ever seen come to Everton who can take a corner suddenly stops being able to when he comes to Everton. The only one, funny enough, the only one who ever didn't lose that power was James Rodriguez, and he didn't take enough of them. But everyone else just hits the first man as soon as they get to Goodison.
Yeah, I've never understood like what it is with us and corners.
Yeah, we had a good record on them last season, didn't we? We scored a lot of set pieces.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Honestly, Sigurdsson, one of the best set piece takers. I said the name, sorry. He was one of the best set piece takers in the Premier League for years. He got to Everton, he hasn't scored one, and he probably definitely won't now. Yeah, just something about Everton's and corners, just cursed.
Oh, yeah. Just Everton and cursed. I think you don't even need the corners part.
Yeah.
But
no, he's been brilliant.
Yeah, on Townsend, I think one thing I do like about him, I think as wings go, I think he's the best in terms of output I've seen for a while. He knows how to cross a ball. He knows, like, he can provide service, he can shoot. I don't know how many, we haven't really had a winger who can cut inside and shoot for a long time, you know. Rodriguez, but come on.
More importantly, he's teetotal, isn't he? I can inspire to be there.
He is. Could never be me,
yeah,
like,
so, but. Yeah, just a good fact about Andros Townsend.
How good is he on Call of Duty, though?
Can he set up a Twitch stream?
Hey, I won't knock James Rodriguez, he's my boy. If he's not as good as James Rodriguez, I don't want Townsend, frankly.
No, I know James Rodriguez had output, but he wasn't a bona fide winger, was he?
No, it's chalk and cheese. And it's like, you know, one's a mercurial number 10 and one's an industrious, you know, winger. It's not even a comparison you can make. But in terms of what Benitez wants to do, I can definitely see why, you know, Townsend is a much better fit. He wants to have that hard work and sort of Moyes like, early Moyes like, you know, sort of set up with the, you know, every player's got their role. Townsend and Gray and just need you to flash crosses across the 6-yard box for their strikers to attack. He simplified it and it works. You know, and Townsend fits it perfectly. So, you know, credit to him. I'm eating my words currently. I think he's done a lot better than I expected him to, and long may it continue.
Long may it continue indeed. But yeah, there you have it, guys. Andros Townsend is getting seal of approval off everyone, including Terry McAllister. You heard it here first.
He wants more of Rafa's scruffy old ex-players. Just bring them all in. Javi Manqueo's next, isn't it?
Out Longstaff.
It might actually be Longstaff, but I don't consider him the same.
Foreign.
Foreign.
Marcus Babel, I think he's on a free. Ryan Babel is, isn't it?
Because when you think about it, he's had some interesting ones, hasn't he? Remember Nunes?
We need a backup left back, Jimmy Traore. I think if you get offered them enough.
Igor Bishkan.
Bring them all in.
All the ones from Newcastle will have Joe Linton next because he can, you know, head a ball in the box. So.
Hey, Rafa didn't sign Joe Linton. He quit because he didn't want Joe Linton.
Oh, fair enough. It's not all bad then.
He's got sense. He's a rock of sense then, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, there you have it, guys. Anyway, we'll wrap it up there. Let us know your opinions on Andros Townsend, and yeah, drop us a comment, give this video a like, and subscribe for more content. Until next time, guys, thanks for watching on the Toffee Blues.